Welcome to 9 minutes motivation at 9 a.m. I am Deepak here, and my life is beautiful and stay on top of it because I work as worship. It's amazing to have morning fit spirit. The trance fitness is just amazing. Feel so deep after every session of fit spirit. So we were discussing the other day in my office on the lunch table. We had a lot of discussions, just talks. And Nisha, who just finished her MBBS and become a doctor, was telling that some out of discussion somewhere, a patient is called a patient because they are supposed to remain patient till they become okay. If they become impatient, their health will deteriorate further. And it's all a very simple, it's a very profound law of life that the more you become desperate, the more it get delays. So if you are not keeping well and you have a health issue and you become desperate for it to become okay, you actually become more and more sick. That's why you'll see when people become sick, they have series of sicknesses that keeps coming because they just want to come out of it desperately. And that is why they're asked to be patient. And that is why they are called patient. So that was the whole understanding about why a patient is called a patient. A patient is called a patient because they have to remain patient till they become okay. If that is from a health perspective, I think it's same for mental perspective also, emotional perspective also, and spiritual perspective also. You have to practice patience. When you are up to some job, for pursuing some goal, fulfilling your ambition, running behind your aspiration, you have to do it patiently. Now we become very desperate to succeed, we become desperate to reach our goal, we become desperate to fulfill our ambitions and aspirations. In that desperation, we end up taking wrong decisions or emotional decisions which chances are very high goes wrong, and then it creates stress, and that's why we have so much of mental issues, mental disorders, stress. Same with emotions. When somebody is not understanding you or you are not understanding something, we are so desperate to make things happen, we are so desperate to make the other person understand. In the desperation, we shout, we scream, we scold, we become angry, we get irritated, frustrated. Again, it becomes manifest in the health issue only. That is why, so every possible sickness that we have at a physical, mental level is basically by being impatient. And it's such a simple understanding, If you become impatient, you will become a patient. It can be a patient of physical health issues, fitness issues, or it can be a patient of mental disorders, or it can be patient of emotional issues like depressions and anxiety and fear and nervousness and so many more. The manifestation can happen just because we are impatient in life. Right? In fact, I didn't ask this question to anybody, why a patient is called a patient. Out of nowhere, discussion happened, and I realized actually in some way or other, we all become patient. Just because, only definition for patient is, you have to remain patient if you don't want to be patient. Is it such a paradox? You have to stay patient in life if you don't want to become patient of a doctor. If doctor also become impatient while treating the patient, even doctor will become a patient. And then we need some other doctor to treat this doctor because he is no more doctor, he has become patient. So if you don't want to be a patient, then you have to remain patient. Such an amazing paradox. No? If you become impatient, then you will become patient. So the funda, the philosophy, the secret of healthy living at a physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual level, at a materialistic level, in every level, the secret is very simple. Be patient in whatever you do. Water will boil at 100 degrees centigrade. That's it. How much are you in a hurry to go to office? The tea or the coffee will boil only at that temperature. It does not care you are in rush or you are not in rush. It will boil. Water will become steam only at 100 degrees centigrade. And till that much amount of heat is going, you have to patiently wait for it to become. You are standing in the kitchen, for every dish, for every vegetable, for every fruit, every ingredient has its own specific time at which it becomes ready. Few dishes become ready like that. Even if it is Maggi, it doesn't get ready in 2 minutes, because when you want to eat Maggi, it is not in the house. You have to go to the neighboring shop, which takes 5 minutes going, 5 minutes coming, water boiling, and after it is prepared in 2 minutes also. For it to cool down, it needs another 5 minutes. So even if it is Maggi, which they claim 2 minutes it will be ready, it takes minimum 20 minutes to go to your mouth and get into your stomach. And if you are not patient, and it will not work, and you will become patient. So the funda is simple. Whether it is relationship, whether it is a health, whether it is a fitness. People try to lose weight fast. They start becoming so impatient about that. Sometimes I have seen people going morning also, night also for workouts, and they go crash diet, and they are so desperate to become fit. And in the process, they pick up something else. Sometimes twist their leg, sometimes break some bone of the body, and then they delay the whole thing, and they keep blaming the God. Now I am decided to drop my weight, and I am working out so much, and now God has got me on the bed again. I can't move because my one bone is broken and I have got this fracture. It's not like that. From health to fitness to relationship to success to anything, you have to practice patience. Now, if I had to give you another word for it, it is something as simple as relax. Learn to relax in life. We are so desperate. A traffic signal will become green only after 20 seconds. 20 seconds relax. 20 seconds we are impatient. We are accelerating the accelerator. We are pressing the accelerator. Pressing the accelerator, and we are just honking there because the fellow in front of you is taking time. We become impatient for 20 seconds. These 20 seconds comes 10 to 12 times every day. And that kind of impatience, which means heart is always pumping more blood, heart is always at the high speed working, and that is what will lead into high blood pressure. And I can go on giving examples like that to you. You have to learn to be patient. Learn to relax. Relax in the traffic. Relax at the work. It's not about physical relaxation, sitting like that on the beach. It's more of a mental and emotional relaxation. Relax. Learn to relax. Things will happen. It might take another extra minutes, sometimes extra hours, sometimes extra days, sometimes extra weeks, sometimes extra months, sometimes extra years. But work will happen if you are in the right direction. Keep walking. Eventually you will reach. By getting impatient, either you will become a temporary patient of some issue, or will become a permanent patient of mental disorders or emotional depressions. And then there are no cures for it. You only have to manage the whole thing with medication, which is, I think, is not worth it. Not worth it. So, if you don't want to be patient, then you have to practice patience. The moment you become impatient, you will end up being a patient, even if you are a doctor. With that understanding, let's start this wonderful, beautiful day together. Here we go. I believe I can. So guys, go get set and grow.
You're empty.